timing of this episode is ideal because it features one of my favorite romantic couples in fitness. And I know you'll enjoy hearing their story and all the ways they're spreading the word about fitness over 50. Shebah Carfagna and Nate Wilkins are veteran fitness trainers who focus mostly on the over 50 market. They're based in Miami. I first met them at Idea World in Las Vegas in 2018, helped them start their newsletter, and I've written about them for my subscribers in Prime Fit content. They always have a lot of exciting projects going on, and in fact, were recently chosen as 2 of 5 sponsored athletes by Senior Planet from AARP. So they'll be sharing their fitness expertise and enthusiasm with even more folks through that platform. They're also now working with AgeBold, an online platform that provides online exercise programs at no cost through many health plans. Shebah and Nate are founders of Panache Fitness, which delivers both traditional fitness services and specialized programs for individuals with chronic conditions or unique health challenges, and the Ageless Workout Method. Both have had their share of serious health challenges. Shebah is 67, Nate is 71, but they remain dedicated to their own health, fitness, and well-being, to each other's, and to their clients. Here's my talk with this dynamic duo. So hi, Shebah and Nate. Great to see you guys.
Hey, Jay. How are you today?
I'm good. It's nice to see you. It's been a while since we've talked.
Yes. Over some time, maybe a couple of years, and we lost touch during the pandemic, but now
we're back. I'm glad we're talking. You both look gorgeous as ever.
You mean I look better than Shebah? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm saying you both look equally fabulous. I'm not playing favorites. Don't get me involved in that competition. How's Miami today?
the weather's beautiful. We had a cold bout, but now the weather's beautiful. Most beautiful time to live in Miami is this time of year. So from like December through March, best time in the world.
Yeah, it is.
Traffic is interesting as well. So this is the time of year that everybody sort of wants to be in Miami, and the traffic can be challenging.
Yes, I remember. I lived in Palm Beach County for about 4 years. So listen, I want to go back to when we met, and then I want you to tell us a little bit of just about your background and what you're doing, how you got to where you are in fitness in Miami, and what your main focus is. We met at I think it was Ideal World in, I think it was Las Vegas, 2018. And I saw the two of you, and I was just getting started in writing about fitness over 50. And I saw the two of you and I said, I need to talk to them. Look at them. They are glowing with health and positivity, and they're so in love with each other. They look like teenagers. I got to talk to these people. So what is your story in a nutshell for people who don't know?
You tell your story, I'll tell mine.
Well, the story is actually very similar, but we met you then, and then we talked to you a little bit and wanted to get with you because we were starting our newsletter, and you had a great product out where you supply content for newsletters. And we talked a little bit, and you actually helped us launch our first newsletter. And we want to say kudos and thank yous to that. The newsletter is seen around the world because we have clients around the world. So thank you for getting us out with that information. But these days we are performing the same thing with a focus on longevity, looking at individuals, trying to make them live a better quality of life, and really focused on reaching them through utilization of Zoom and other platforms. And why don't you say?
Yeah, so technology being that part, and what we've learned in some instances with people in our age group. Some say boomers are not Zoomers, but they're fast coming because they know that the technology is happening. And then how do we mix all of that together with the quality of life that we want to live? So that's kind of where we are right now. But yeah, I remember interacting in several places with you, wherever we've gone to conferences, and we've sort of agreed and found a common ground on this area, whether it be active aging or pro-aging or longevity. It's that conversation that we've been having for a while.
Yes, it is. We have been having that conversation for a while, and that word longevity is sort of the new buzzword. Maybe not brand new, but it seems to have emerged, and it's getting used all the time now to mean all kinds of things. And it is kind of a handy dandy word, because when I started writing about this, people would say, "Oh, you mean baby boomers?" I was like, "No, I don't mean baby boomers. I mean people over 50, and some of them are boomers and some of them are not. And today, you got a lot of Gen Xers. So we're really talking about people who, starting in midlife and going on for decades, just want to have the best quality of life they can for as long as possible. It's health span, not lifespan, right? You want to have your best life for as long as possible. Since we met, the pandemic happened and changed everything. And now you're talking about Zoom and you're there in your beautiful studio. So you teach people in person, you teach people on Zoom, you've got your own clients, you do some collaborations with others. How is the marketing shifting? How's the messaging shifting? And maybe it's not, maybe the messaging is still the same, but how are you talking to people about all of this to get them involved?
Well, we have a philosophy that we meet individuals where they are. There is no judgment. We don't call what we do exercise, workout. We stick to the word movement because that is a more universal and inclusive word. So 80% of the world doesn't move so much, and 20% are the professionals like us and the elite athletes. We're no longer worried about that 20%. We talked a little bit about that online. I think the conversation has to be to the 80%, and how can you listen to them and interact with them and find out what their success, what they see as their success. Wouldn't you agree, sweetheart?
Oh, absolutely. And then helping them move to other places that they choose to move. And sort of looking at it from a personalized perspective of fitness and wellness, not really forcing upon them, while Shebah and I might move more and having a more extensive program, and others may do that, but meeting people where they are and then allowing them to grow through consistency to reach whatever programs they want to reach, whether it be the cognitive efforts that they're making, agility, mobility, flexibility. It's a whole package that we're trying to help people acquire and hold on to through the rest of their journey.
The use of the word movement instead of exercise is interesting with this demographic in particular, because a lot of people much older than I am, we grew up before exercise was a part of daily life, before it was a part of the culture. You and I were all old enough to remember when there wasn't a Nautilus workout center on every corner, and when Jane Fonda was just a movie star, not an aerobics queen, and when people didn't go to the gym. So people get intimidated by that word, exercise, and they don't by movement. Is that what you're finding?
I think they are intimidated by exercise because it positions people to think that they need to be a certain kind of way, when all we want is for you to do the things you love. If that means going to the playground with your grandchildren, that counts as movement. It is about the success in the mind. It is an ageless mindset that we have developed through the Ageless Workout Method. Yes?
Oh, yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head, that it's really about being able to get up and down and really having a sense of independence, Jay. I think that's really the buzzword that we're trying to reach with people, is that none of us want to be in a place where we have to depend on other people to move us around, to get us up and down. And we want that, whether it be traveling or spending time with our grandkids or families. That's where I think the rubber meets the road. And that's where I think that this conversation can really center around that 80% that Shebah's been relating to. You and I, Shebah, we're all going to make sure that we get moving, but what about the rest of us?
That's right. I get you with the 80%, but I think there's also probably 20% that we're never going to reach. There's just some people who won't hear it. And so I'm wondering, do you ever think about just focusing on that broad middle, who you can move, who might be open to it?
That's an interesting question. We're all about having individuals move in that direction, and I think our focus is still there. A couple of things we realize is once someone goes to their doctor, it rings a bell. So once someone passes away, it rings a bell. I offer my clients a lot of different perspectives because it's really about lifestyle and mindset. And once you realize it's a mindset and a lifestyle, then those little bit of people that won't come along will have something happen to them that will affect the way they see about movement, because no one wants to live a long time and be miserable.
That's right. Along with longevity, there's another new buzzword, health span. We used to talk about, I want a long lifespan. It's like, no, you don't. You want a long health span. What does that mean to people? Or do people understand the distinction there?
I think we do. I think that the more I move into the journey, I find that there are certain things that I need to take care of, whether it's my doctor's appointments, and I have a number of those, and they help me to move along the process. And so if I were not on top of those appointments or attending those appointments, then I would pay a cost, right?
Yes.
With my health.
Yes. Yeah.
I hope that makes sense.
Yes. We want to change the way individuals see aging, whether it's professionals, the general public, everyone to see aging different. There is no predictor of aging, and aging is very big money in the United States, for sure.
Yeah.
So we want to change that. Aging is the last prejudice that is allowed. It's not okay to say someone has a large nose or they have blue eyes, but it's okay to say, and I'll use my partner here, he used to stroll into the room, and now look at him, he's on a walker. Okay, hold up.
Yeah.
Aging has changed. So to answer your question, we believe in teaching individuals better habits. There's your health span, lifespan, for a better quality of life, health span, lifespan, but the key word, which is enhanced longevity. And they're actually working on a project this month where you're walking and you have a challenge.
Oh, yeah. I mean, fitting into that 100-mile challenge. So suggesting that 4 miles a day over the next, what it will be to the 28th, would get you that 100 miles, or just encouraging clients to hit 7,000 to maybe 15,000 steps throughout a day. For some, it's challenging, but really just encouraging stepping movement, period, is really where we are. If you want to join the challenge, you can be a part of that challenge, then by all means, join that.
Oh, well, is that just me or everybody?
You.
Me specifically, walk 100 miles.
And even if you're chair bound, you can participate and move in a number of online sessions that are now available to all seniors. And they have these where you go on and you can see if you qualify, similar to Silver Sneakers. I'm not promoting anyone, but everyone knows the brand Silver Sneakers.
Yeah.
And that movement can still be accomplished in a chair or doing the things that you like to do. It's all about that self-satisfaction and self-care. Really big on self-care these days.
Yes, self-care is getting a lot of traction as well, and I'm glad that it is, because I think, again, maybe for people of our generation and older, because I'm 61, y'all are just a few years older than I am, so our age and older, self-care is sort of looked down upon, like, oh no, I can't be egotistical. I can't put myself first. I raised children, or I took care of my spouse, or what have you. What we're talking about, self-care doesn't mean ignoring other people. Means being the best you can be, right?
Somebody put it this way, Jay, that self-care is not selfish. That really, it's hard to pour from an empty cup.
Yeah.
If you're always giving out of your cup to somebody else, when do you get your cup filled? And you are now waiting around and saying, well, what happened to me? Why didn't somebody take care of me? So it is incumbent upon ourselves. And we like to use the term that we need to become our own health advocates, take care of ourselves, not ignoring other people, but making sure that when we give to others, that we also give to ourselves. And I make sure, and Shebah and I make sure we get to the gym in the mornings before we go work with somebody else, because we need to make sure we take care of ourselves so we can go take care of somebody else.
That's right.
Oh, and I think the self-care is really important, and I see it across the board, not with people that are in their 50s and above. I actually see it across the board because there's no work-life balance.
Yeah.
Younger individuals are more sedentary, more at their max. Remote working, although that may change, it's still sitting all day and sedentary. And there's not that sense that you need to get up and move around. And so I see that self-care loss in women of all ages, where they need to take time and step back, and men as well. But for individuals in our group, the golden years mean that you have this wonderful time. For example, myself, I've raised my son. I've been through one marriage. Fortunately, this one's going to work out. And I can do things more for myself to preserve who I am as a woman. And that is what's really important. And what are the most important things for me is that I see my son grow up and be healthy. I make sure that Nate gets to the doctor. I can't do that's a lot of work. So I have to do self-care to keep my engine going, to keep everyone else's going. And it goes back to what you said. You can't pour from an empty cup.
Hey, are you a fitness professional trying to grow your business with people over 50? If you are, then you need to know how to communicate with them, how to market to them, and how to get them to trust you with their fitness, well-being, and money. We're talking about millions of people who are a little older than the typical market that the fitness industry usually pursues. They have more money, more time, and better motivation to make the best long-term fitness consumers you'll find anywhere. If you're not focusing on them, you should be. PrimeFit Content is the only content marketing company designed specifically to help you engage people in this group and to help you distinguish yourself from competitors in your community. It's effective, affordable, and super easy to use. Check it out at primefitcontent.com. That's prime, like prime of your life, fitcontent.com. Back to the show. That's right. And the phrase self-care, I write about it a lot in my content. I talk about it on the show, and it resonates with me in my personal life. For instance, I had to cancel a dental appointment a couple of weeks ago, and it comes to mind every once in a while. Self-care, Jay, you have to go get your teeth checked. Whereas 10 years ago, I might have said, oh, screw it, it's just the dentist, I'll go sometime. Now it's really important. These basic appointments are important, and a lot of people need reinforcement. And I think that trainers and people at gyms can be a positive influence on a lot of that, especially for people who might be widowed or live alone or their kids are gone, or I don't know if you encounter that at all, but I just think it's a more holistic look at it than, oh, I'm going to go be alone today because I need self-care. It's like, well, don't forget your doctor's appointment. Don't forget to take your medicine.
Right. But then we see something since the pandemic, and you follow more of this than I do, that loneliness is a big
Yes.
with aging individuals in America, and that because of the pandemic, they don't have that sense of connection, connectivity.
Loneliness, but also isolation.
Right.
So, because of course the pandemic, people were
Sheltering in place.
sheltering in place.
Yes.
Maybe, and nobody's reaching out. But then when we started to move around, we still had that isolation and loneliness. So it's definitely a factor that we still need to pay attention to.
Right. And that's where the Zoom becomes so important, because you can make that reach.
Yeah, tell me about the Zoom project that you were mentioning earlier before we started recording. You're working with an outfit to reach even more people through Zoom, right? Tell us about that.
Yes. Well, what we found that as a result of the pandemic, some of the places where we worked physically, we began introducing them to Zoom and offering Zoom classes, Zoom personal training sessions. And then it started to take off. And as a result, there's a number of companies out there, yes, that are interested in providing services, kind of like a Silver Sneakers, where you can go online and be sure that you're able to get the service for free if you qualify. And so now we've moved to a Zoom model. We're hybrid model is the proper word. So on Zoom, we're working with AgeBold, which is a platform that's out there, AGEBOLD. Teach classes and provide bold talks. And it provides a sense of purpose, because as you get older, you have to have purpose, where you can check in, just like we've checked in with you today, and we've seen you in forever. So sense of connectivity where you don't have to leave your house.
And we're also linked up, and really get a chance to talk about it, but we're linked up with AARP,
Yes.
and Senior Planet,
Right.
which is a whole different idea. And we've put together some concepts that we shared recently with AARP, and maybe you'll talk more about
Yeah, I want to hear about that.
So, to bring the Zoom back around, we provide Zoom classes ourselves on a very small scale. So we have our own Zoom classes. We have AgeBold Zoom classes. Much to what Nate said, we were just named 2025 Sponsored Athletes for AARP. We're very excited about it. It's one of our first national recognitions from a well-known lobbying organization with, I think, 88 million individuals.
Yep.
So that has yet to be announced. And I'm not sure where we'd heard, but we haven't done anything formal.
Okay.
But with that, we will be broadcasting on their platform, and they offer a number of fitness classes just as a member to AARP
So you're going to be teaching AARP members on Zoom?
on Zoom as well. And then locally here in Miami, there are a number of senior planets around the country. I know there's one in Colorado. There's just recently one opened up here in Wynwood, which is the hoity-toity section.
Yeah.
AARP has made a large commitment to technology and seniors. So they've opened this state-of-the-art. You go more than me. Can you share?
Yeah, but you're headed down the right direction because it buys into this whole conversation about Zoom, but they're also looking at other forms of technology that seniors can participate in. But the piece that continues to surface is this notion of fitness and wellness and how you tie all of that in.
Right.
So that's where we come into the conversation.
Yeah, into a lifestyle. So you would no longer go to a senior center. In the old days, you visit one of these centers if you're fortunate enough to have one in your city where they have all of this technology, they have parties, they have sessions. Even on the AARP website, you can go in and they have a number of classes, how to find a job. They're very much into this Zoom connectivity now, which I think is very good, very good.
What if I don't have a senior planet near me?
Well, I would look up aarp.org and then see what they are offering in terms of classes, because they offer classes on technology, how to find a job, how to navigate Facebook. I don't think they've gotten to Instagram because much of the population
Right.
Facebook, but it's just that AI,
Yeah.
how to work on your computer, for very basics. And that is a free service. So,
Okay. And you're going to be teaching Zoom fitness to AARP people. That could be a really huge opportunity, yeah?
well, we see it that way. We're just honored to be selected as one of the 5 athletes, both of us in the same household, as one of in the country. Yes, so we're happy to share. I've always been exuberant about sharing my knowledge with everyone, and we want to share what we do from our perspective. How do you live a better lifestyle with your mate, without your mate,
Yeah.
with whatever you have, high blood pressure? I have a hip replacement, joint toe replacement, orthos Vic in my knee, and I can still run and jump because I train that way. That's my choice. That's not for everyone, but it's certainly what we can inspire others to do. Really living it, not just saying we're the experts. We know we have this degree, this degree. We are really living it. Tell us your story. What is it you want to share with us? And we will help you find a way in your own mindset to master what is good for you.
Congratulations on being selected by AARP. That's fantastic. And I will link to all of that in the show notes so people can learn more about it. Sounds like a great opportunity for you and for other people just to hear your message and learn from you. I want to touch on one other topic that we talked about earlier. That's something that I like to write about a lot in my content and talk sometimes about on the show, but it's been a minute since I've been able to write about it or talk about it. And that is changing hormones that we all experience as we age, midlife and beyond. Women, of course, have menopause. Men have testosterone issues, prostate issues, all these other things. So I know you both have focuses, Shebah on menopause and Nate on men's health. What's the need there among this population, and how do you address it with them to connect with them about these things?
Sweetheart, why don't you go first, because men are the most difficult to share and reach.
Yeah, so Jay, thanks for broaching that subject. So I like to focus on men's health challenges. From a personal perspective, I've had my own challenges. I remember the day I found out that I had prostate cancer, and I thought, for some of us, when you hear cancer, you think about death. And so for me, it was, rather than suffer alone, I created a group and then I found out that through that group, in discussion with a lot of different men, that there were other issues that men face, but they didn't talk about it. So prostate cancer, health issues related to heart, dementia, all of those things play a role with men. And so encouraging men at our age to take care of themselves and be open to talk about it and find strategies to deal with it. One of the last things I'll say, Jay, is that Shebah and I believe that you can't let the conditions manage you. You have to manage your conditions.
Yes.
Okay, before we move to Sheba, I want to ask you, how do you break through that with men? Men, particularly in this age and older, can be really thick-headed and hard to break through to, especially about intimate things, their bodies, their sexual function, all that stuff that, you just didn't talk about back in the day. How do you do it? How do you break through to be relevant to them?
It took me a while. I created a small group of men around my age and older. First of all, we talked on, again, going back to Zoom. We had a Zoom conference, online conference, and we had doctors and all of those different entities be a part of it and contribute to the conversation from a personal perspective, but then overall general. And then out of that, we also encourage this group to talk to their own friends and invite other men who were willing to talk about it and be a part of these conversations. So that's how we've actually reached out to men. And then the other thing that I would share with you, Jay, is that through social media, I have reached out to men and say, look, here's what I'm doing. What are you doing? Tell me about it, whether it be YouTube or Instagram, Facebook. Those entities are places that I've done it.
Good. Okay, Sheba?
Well, I've been talking about menopause for, I don't know, since before 2017. I think I saw you at an event out west where they started to talk about menopause and became a certified menopause provider relative to fitness some years ago, and won a scholarship to do that, as a matter of fact. Menopause is a subject that has all long been poo-pooed, not talked about, and women's health, that's part of it. It's part of being a woman is to go through these stages, whether you're perimenopause, menopausal, postmenopausal, or as the women that I run around with, been there, done that, got a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Now, what do we need to do?
Yeah.
So there's that fourth stage, which talks about osteoporosis, osteopenia. How do you then combat those things that when you go to the doctor? I think the conversation is more open now. I think that is a good thing that women have that. Women are still sexually active. We're in our prime in this age. For those of us that want to be, if you don't want to be, you don't want to be. But good tactile stimulation is helpful to calm you down. It's a tough world out here. Companionship. Women love companionship, okay? Whether it's family, the grandchildren, that nurturing needs to happen for us. And it's all part of the lifestyle, life phase change. What is the next chapter and how do I then prepare through self-care? If I have intimacy issues, what doctor do I go to see? If they told me that I need to get a mammogram, why do I need to do this? They called me back because I have a mass. That doesn't mean you have breast cancer. That means you follow up on the appointment. And again, it goes back to managing the condition and not letting the condition manage you. And let's say you do have something. You still have to then manage that within your lifestyle. Come to grips with it. In this session, I'm making it sound very simple, but it's really not. Okay? But you have to have that mindset. And I think that's critical. And great that they're talking about aging issues with adults.
You both are very proactive communicators, and I want people to connect with you where you want them to. So tell the people where to go online. I don't know if it's your website. I don't know if it's your social media or your email. How do you want people to find you and connect with you online?
Well, first is Facebook. So let's give them the Facebook. Shebah Carfagna on Facebook. Just my name. And Jay, you'll put up a banner after that, how to spell my name. And you on Facebook?
We use Ageless Workout Method. We also have the tribe, and we didn't get a chance to talk about it, but it's the tribe of all these people that we've been talking about. We connect, and so you can find us with Ageless Workout Method, and the tribe.
We're also on Instagram at Panache Fitness, if someone's on Instagram, and at Ageless Workout Method. Ageless Workout Method is our brand and our working movement routine based on science and data by Dr. Joseph Signorelli. So we consulted with him. He's at University of Miami. He's a longtime expert in the area of fitness with older individuals, and it's all about power. And we can talk to you about that another time. But also through our newsletter. You can join our newsletter at any time. You just need to send us an email, info@Panache Fitness, or they can reach out to you and see where our information is.
Okay, I'll put all of that on the show notes so it'll be easy for people to find that. And I think that's a nice way to wrap it up, unless there's anything else you guys want to touch on.
We are appearing at a longevity festival. Longevity experiences have become very popular. And this year we're invited back to the Live Long Summit, which is in beautiful Palm Beach.
Oh, okay. I'll be right there.
And so we're excited to do that because while there are experts out there telling you what you should do, we're here at the community level, ground zero, saying you need to continue to move. Motion is lotion. That is ours. Movement is exercise, is ACE, AFA. Ours is motion is lotion, and keep moving in the right direction.
That's right.
And that's what you have to do, is keep moving in the right direction. We hope you look at our newsletter as well as yours. We have a lot of funny videos. We demonstrate exercises and keep you with what's going on with us and where to find it.
Guys, it's been delightful catching up with you. You both look great. It's good to see you.
And you look well. The honor and pleasure is all ours.
Oh, please go on.
Party.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Thanks for letting me. And look forward to seeing you in person soon.
Yes, yes. Keep moving in the right direction.
That's right. You too. Thanks, guys. Thank you for listening to the Optimal Aging Podcast. I'm your host, Jay Croft of Prime Fit Content. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll subscribe, review, and tell a friend. All of that helps me grow my audience. I hope you'll share any comments you have with me, including suggestions about people I should interview and topics I should cover. You can learn more about my newsletter and content business at primefitcontent.com and write me at jay, at primefitcontent.com. And I'm on all the social channels. Again, thanks for listening. Join me next time.